Mhm. Hello, hello. Just trying to write the title here. Okay, there we go. Post and pin. Now we are live! Live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Welcome. Telma Fieldweit here, your Raw Detox coach, and I'm here to talk to you about health, weight loss, because that's what I do. Yes, I teach women to lose weight naturally and without shame. And the shame business, you don't want to go there. But maybe you've been there before. But it's no good. No good. Shame business is really, it's a shame. Hello, Raw Foodie Chloe. Welcome. Let's see who else will join us. Um, Today, if you saw the stories I put about the chips and the fruit, the dilemma of making a choice, that made me think about the social pressure that we all face, especially women. We face so much social pressure in all areas of our lives, like everything. Getting married, getting children, work, school, what to study. It's like what to eat, what to dress, diet, no diet. It's a yeah, tremendous amount of pressure that we face every single day. And sometimes we don't even recognize this pressure because it could be coming from sources that are so close to us, that love us, right? And it's hard to recognize. So, because of that, I thought would be appropriate for this live for us to talk about um, weight loss and social pressure. Weight loss and social pressure. How to overcome this issue when you are trying to lose weight. How can you deal with this pressure? Because the pressure is there. It was there before you start losing weight. And that's what is very, very interesting, because it's these two conflicting forces. So let us go into the topic. Feel free to comment below and to say how you feel about the topic, about social pressure, if you face that, if you recognize that before or right now, whatever phase you are in your journey, in your lifestyle journey. But we all face that every single day. Now, why do we get this social pressure? This social pressure, as the word says, social, because we live in society. We don't live all by ourselves. Even if we would love to, we are still, we need each other, right? We need to go out and interact with other people, whether it's family that could be at home or out of your home, at work, school, right, in your neighborhood. So yeah, you go to the shop, so you interact with people, and whether you like it or not, you're still gonna get this pressure, and whether it's conscious or not, because that's another thing. This pressure is not always something that people do because they plan to pressure you. Even though it might feel this way sometimes, like, what's going on here? They all gather together to pressure me to, do something or stop doing something. But most of the time it's unconsciously people do that. They pressure others unconsciously, which is very sad, also because many times they don't mean, but yeah. So because we live in society, we get this pressure, and many times it's also because of the culture we have, that pressures us to do things in a certain way. It could be because of family traditions, like in our family we always do certain way, and then now you are changing. Also among your friends, you have habits that you kind of develop together of doing things, and also the way the meal patterns are. Like normally you eat for breakfast you eat this, for lunch you eat that, and you have snacks in between, and dinner you eat this time. So we have so many kind of rules, right, of how to do things. And another thing which is very important to mention is about knowledge of food, of nutrition. Food nutrition science knowledge is something that very few people have. And even the people that we tend to trust, people of authority, health professionals, many doctors, they are not taught about nutrition. And if this is the first time you're hearing this and you're thinking Thelma is crazy out of her her mind, go do a little Google, go search. They have very little hours of nutrition, and even those little hours they have in their curriculum is not like a overall nutrition of health promoting nutrition. Is more like very specific for certain diseases and like that. So because of this lack of knowledge, these, and together with all the other facts we mentioned, the family traditions, the culture, they all contribute for people to put this pressure on you, on me, on everybody. Now, you are starting your weight loss journey. That's why you're also here following me, because you are interested, whether you want to lose weight or you're interested in changing your diet and incorporating more health foods and also healthy routines in your life. You have noticed perhaps that when you changed a little bit the way you eat, and here on the Raw Detox Coach, I talk about eating fruits and vegetables and not animals, for example, or animal products. You might have already felt some kind of resistance from people close to you, that puts you some pressure and starts like questioning why you do this thing, why you doing this way, are you still doing that. And what is very like in the beginning I was saying, these conflicting forces, because on one hand you experience this when you are changing your diet and now you're trying to eat more healthy and want to lose weight. You get this pressure from the people, especially people you love. But then you remember that before you were in this new pattern of change, you also had pressure. And I'll give you an example why I'm like bringing these two forces, because we are, for example, media has portrayed health and has portrayed uh, dieting and lifestyle as one thing. Like you should be thin. Now these days they have changed, adjusted a little bit, but it's like you should be thin, have this model body for women especially. And you probably even felt that many brands, it's difficult to get your size, and because we all different bodies, because we from all over the place, right, different backgrounds and culture, and some are higher, some are shorter, so that influences all the measurements. Then it has been so much pressure on we losing weight, on we dieting and all that. But then on the other hand, when you eventually decide to do that, then you get this other pressure. No, you should not do this. You should stop. And that can be very confusing, because it's like one day people want you to lose weight and they might even comment, and on the other day they want you to stay the way you are. That's why it's so important for us to really be self-aware and know what we want, what is good for us, and stop giving our control away to these conflicting forces. We want to keep the control with us. But for that, we need to take time to understand our needs, to make choices that are based on evidence and that will actually benefit us. And once we have made these choices, now we need to overcome these challenges that come in form of social pressure. So let's say that you go out to eat with your friends. That is very typical. You just started changing, everything is going well. You have your plan at home, everything organized, and now the invitation comes to go out with your friends. That can be very tricky, because you know what your friends eat. Because you used to eat those things before. And now you have to be there, enjoy, but also decide whether you will give in or not. And how do we do that? How do we deal with the questioning and, the shaming? Because there is a lot of shaming when you are changing. And again, sometimes people will shame you not because they plan to shame you, it's just because unconsciously they are actually talking to themselves, if you know what I mean. So many times we project ourselves in other people. So it's like other people are mirrors to us. So we see ourselves there, and we see especially those things that we are not happy with and we want to change, but we see in other people. And then many times the way we talk to them and and express ourselves to them can be so harsh, because it's coming from a place that is wounded and is also something familiar to us, even though we're not aware most of the time. If you're not doing the work, when I say you're not doing the work, you're not working on yourself with different methods, with therapy, and you're not like aware of your needs, of your weaknesses, strengths, the things you need to improve, your beliefs, then it's really hard for you to recognize this projection. But this is what happens. So now you're in this setting, you went there, and now you have to order. You're ordering the food, and you hear your friends ordering. Now it's your turn, and you order something healthy, that you believe that you can eat, and will do good to your body, and you'll be satisfied. And they listen to it and they're like, what? Are you just gonna have that? No, 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 no. You can't just have a salad, or you can't just have whatever you have ordered. And now you have to decide how to answer to that, because your answer again will determine whether this will be like a continuous topic during the whole night, and you don't want that. You want to enjoy the company, but because you are in the start of your journey, you're also unsure. You still have those cravings. It's not like you are done, which you never done really. But of course you get better in keeping your choices and that. So now what to do? Hmm? Has that happened to you before? What do you say? Do you say, oh, I'm in this new diet and I'm not allowed to eat this and this and this? What do you think they will reply? And if you say, oh no, I'm going to eat this now and maybe have something later, maybe they'll be more quiet. They'll be like, oh, okay, okay. But again, you want to be true to yourself, right? So it's very challenging. It is very challenging because it's not nice to be different. Like to call your attention or to call other people's attention to you. But that's what happens when you change. People will look at you and see you look different. So now let's say you say to your friends, oh no, actually I have started a new way of eating, a new diet, and I haven't been eating meat for so many days or weeks. And then starts coming the questioning why. And then normally you get two groups of people. You get the group that they really curious and interested, and maybe they've heard a little bit about this way of eating and they know it's beneficial and they are happy for you because they've been watching you struggling with your weight loss, and now seems like you are really strong, and they like, wow, that's so nice, well done, and they kind of encouraging, but they also a bit unsure about things. And then that comes down to the knowledge part, that many times people don't have the knowledge about nutrition and food. Now, would that be a good time for you to start lecturing them that this nutrient you get from there? Maybe not. Maybe not. So I would suggest you to keep your horses and not start sharing too much just yet, because it's not the setting for that. And again, you want to try to take the focus from you, right? And you want to enjoy the evening or the eating out. So this social pressure comes, and the second group that puts this social pressure, they can be a bit more aggressive, and that's when things don't look so nice. They can be more like, no, but you should eat meat because the protein, and then you think, oh no, but protein, I mean, you can get better protein, better quality protein in plants, but then you don't want to start a discussion. It's not the moment, but they kind of, hard on you, and they not letting you go. What do you do? um it's something you have to think a bit like psychologically, and that's when you go back to that projection of people. Again, this person could be, it's not that it has to be this way, but it could be that they just, they just scared of change. Maybe they afraid of your change makes them feel like they should change too, and they can't change, they don't want to change, or they are so scared of changing. So you have those kind of thoughts that could be running their mind, but it could also be that they feel like a failure and a little bit of jealousy there, actually. And that could be unconsciously, that they feel like, oh, but why is she able to do that? I'm not able to do that. I have been there trying to lose weight and trying to eat healthy, and I didn't succeed, you know or could be that they are afraid because they don't have the knowledge about nutrition and food and plant-based eating, and they are really afraid that you're gonna be sick, you're gonna hurt yourself. So they want to avoid you to go through this. So it's a lot of fear and a lot of unknown um, in this mess. So it could be like very easy for you to not think like where they are coming from and just respond. This is my decision, my life. And many times we do that in the beginning because we just want to be left alone. But yeah, it's not always the best way to answer this way, especially if it's people very close to you. You want to have some empathy there, how to respond to them. So yeah. Now, remember that this is just one event you've been on. There will be other events, will be other situations, and this will continue, because maybe next time they meet you, they forgot. Happens, they forgot that you have told them this, and that now you don't eat this, or you don't drink alcohol, or that you have changed some of your habits. And the same thing, and maybe even stronger, because now it's like you are still on that diet, because the many people think that a diet is something short. That's how we've been taught, right? You do it for a certain period of time, and then you just forget about it and you go back to your old ways. So it's like a short thing, a short-lived thing. So that's when you have to put up your game. That's when you have to be ready, prepared. So being prepared to talk to people, to deal with these social pressures is number one. But what does being prepared means? First of all, you have to do the work, and the work is this emotional work. You need to understand your own emotions, your own goals, your change, like why you're doing this. This should be very clear for you. You should not realize like you are in this moment where this pressure is not the moment for you to ask yourself, why are you doing this? Because they might ask you, why are you doing this? And then you're thinking, yeah, why am I doing? No, you should know from before, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because, you know, and your why should be very strong for you. And that's the being prepared part. You should be prepared. You should know why you're doing. And also, one thing you can do is to try to think, okay, if we go out in the city, where could we go? Where could you suggest also? Maybe we can go to a kind of food market or street food market that everybody can get the food they like. Then there's a choice for everybody. Or maybe you could suggest a restaurant that they have some options for you, some healthier options. Of course, if you go to a, a place that they only sell grilled meat, for example, it'll be quite difficult to get a salad there or something healthier. So you can also do some research, and also you could talk to them. I like that particularly. I like to inform people before, like ahead of time. And also, especially if they invite me to their place, I like to talk to them before, if they don't know yet, because then you give them some time to go through their thoughts, and they will also, even if they have like a surprise reaction at first, it will give them some time to rephrase how would they talk to you, how would they ask you questions. So we'll go through some filters. Hopefully will come out much better than the raw version. But also you can offer to bring your food, to bring something that you could eat. You don't want to give them the burden that now they have to find out how to make this kind of food that they never made before. This extra stress. And could be also opportunity for them to taste some of your food, and for you to talk about it if it's appropriate, if it's the moment. You don't want that to become the big thing. That's the thing you're trying to avoid, right? So being prepared, number one. Second is, you want to, we talked already a little bit, you want to be empathic to them. You want to understand where they're coming from, why they're saying the things they're saying, what is really underneath, because that will help you to know how to respond to them. And you don't have to be like, oh, you know. It might be some situations because you are a human being and this is a constant learning, but you want to learn how to answer back to them. And one thing that is very interesting, I learned from a book that I recommend you reading, this one, The Pleasure Trap. Um, it talks about like the psychologic part of, changing your habits, but also there's a chapter that talks about how to deal with these conflicts. And they says, try, especially to those people that are more aggressive, try to focus on them. What does that mean? When you respond to them, try to, like, you try not to show them that you have found the truth, even if you feel that way. You don't want them to feel like they are not worth it because maybe they already feel that way. You don't want to assure them that, you know nothing about nutrition and healthy eating, you're doing the wrong thing, even though they might get that impression because now you have changed. So try to be mindful how you answer. Perhaps you say something like, I this perhaps is not for everyone what I'm doing, but so far I feel very good. So as long as I still feel good, I'll continue following these methods. And also try to kind of switch a little bit the control, the focus of the conversation. Instead of them talking about you and your way of eating, you can shift a bit and ask them questions. So let them tell you what's going on in their life, or talk about something that they are really good at. Could be a sport, could be something that interests them, that they have passion for. In that way, you give them some of that focal point, and you make them feel good, important. You make them feel like they have value, because at the end of the day, we all want to feel loved and appreciated. And it doesn't matter whoever is in this world, everybody wants to feel loved and appreciated. So when you feel that the focal point is on you, you try to answer in a diplomatic way, not to make them feel less important or less value or something. And then let them talk, engage them. So that is something I learned from this book, The Pleasure Trap. It's really cool, besides other tips they give them. And then the third point, so we talked the first, to be prepared, the second, to be empathic, the third is for you to stay true to yourself, stay true to your long-term goals, stay true to the person you want to be. So today you have chosen to go on this weight loss journey. You have chosen to change your lifestyle because you know this is better for your health, and you want to live with a high quality of life, and you want to prevent chronic disease. And if you have chronic disease, you want to get rid of it. So for you to stay true to yourself, you might have to say, no thanks, no thank you. Today I will pass that, but thank you very much. You have to say no. So to say no, you're saying what? You're saying yes to yourself. Remember that. When you say no, you say yes to yourself. So that is a shift, because we were taught, especially for women, we were taught to say yes always. Always say yes. When you say yes, you are a good girl. When you say yes, people love you. When you say yes, you'll be appreciated, right? And we still struggle with that today. I struggle with that in many areas of my life. I'm working on that because now I'm conscious. Now I know, yes, I've been saying too much yes, but I need to say no at times. Doesn't mean that now everything you say no, no. But the things that are important to you, like your health, like your life, you want to be aware of what you say yes to. So stay true to the choices you made. That's why it's so important for you to be really deeply involved in this journey if you want to change, because these challenges, they will come, and there's no way you can avoid them from coming, but you can overcome them. And how do you do that? Being prepared and being empathic, and also saying or staying true to yourself. So these three tips really helps us to succeed. Now, social pressure will continue in all different areas of our life. So the best way to deal with it is not to resist. It's just you learn every single time you expose it, you learn to do better. Maybe the first times you don't handle it so well. That's okay. You learn. It's important to make a note. You can even write down, how did it go? How could I have answered? What would I do next time? Right? And when it comes to habit change, it's just a trigger that we send to other people. It's so amazing how it works when you change yourself, especially in habit, because it's so hard to change a habit. It's like smoking. I give example of smoking, maybe because I grew up with smokers, and I know the struggle for some of them that gave up smoking, how it was for them to give up smoking while still living with other smokers, or while still having friends that are smokers. It's really hard. But again, you need to really choose what you want to do. And when you know, okay, I'll deal with this kind of pressures, how can I handle? So, yeah, I hope you really benefited from this live, and you try out these tips, try out, and not just trying them out, but now you are more conscious of what is gonna happen if you haven't yet experienced so much of it. And also, how do you react towards people that are changing? You know, are we also protecting, like, ourselves to the extent that we want to stop them from changing because we don't want to change because it's uncomfortable? And talking about being uncomfortable to change, this is making me think about a team for alive, and telling you about this bed with the needles. Should I call needles? But I'll find a name and I'll tell you this story. It's very interesting. But for now, we are done here with this live. I hope you have a beautiful day and rest of the week. One day left, not much. So tomorrow I'll be back and talk to you about a new team. And I hope if you have any questions or comments, just write below here or DM me. If you want some privacy, you can always DM me or email me and share your story. And I'm Thelma Fieldveit, your Raw Detox coach, and I wish you a wonderful day. Bye.